Let's take a closer look at some paintings for a wedding chest, a cassone, by Jacopo del Sellaio from Florence around 1485. Originally, this painting here was for the short side of a wedding chest, a cassone. The scene from the beginning of Esther 5 is set in an area of a palace open toward the courtyard. The rear of the courtyard is closed off by a building having an open staircase, 2 blind arcades, and 1 open. Through the open arcade and above the terrace, located above the arcade, we can see the open sky. The decoration of the throne room highlights the trappings of a royal setting. The renderings of royal costumes and the lush wall hanging would convey to inhabitants of 15th century Renaissance Florence an atmosphere that they could easily find themselves accustomed to. In the foreground of the painting, center stage, is Esther in Ahasuerus' throne room. She kneels before the king as he extends his scepter. There is huge relief as the scepter extends towards Esther and she touches it, for we now know that her life will be spared. Readers of Esther 5, especially readers using the Hebrew, have long been aware of the erotic overtones and innuendos of the scene. The eroticism in the Hebrew is not at all present in this Renaissance Florentine painting, however. Rather, Esther kneels before King Ahasuerus with her arms crossed over her chest in a gesture reminiscent of the Virgin Mary Annunciate. Esther's humble posture in the painting, with arms crossed over her chest, mirroring traditional depictions of the Virgin Mary, highlights her piety and serves the purpose of reinforcing an ideal in Florence of the faithful and chaste wife. The painting was for a wedding chest, after all, and contemporary Renaissance Florence was characterized by strict rules of comportment. Esther's bowing posture and flowing, symbolically white gown symbolize her humility and her moralizing embodiment of such comportment. Esther's attendants, kneeling behind her, emphasize the ceremonial importance of the scene in Esther and of holy matrimony, and her royal purity and chastity. The attendants' fluttering headdresses and draperies recall Botticelli's diaphanous gowns. Another scene on the same wedding chest by the same artist teaches the same lesson of ceremony and chastity through negative example. The example from earlier in the book of Esther of the bad queen Vashti. In Renaissance Florence, Vashti wasn't the feminist hero of the Hebrew Bible story who refuses to parade naked before her husband's drunken revelry. Del Sellaio depicts her here refusing the Gentile reasonable requests of her husband's emissaries. Guilty of violating all decorum and all protocols, she is summarily dismissed from the palace and escorted out into disgrace and exile. The lesson of Esther here becomes making and maintaining a good marriage, which is not exactly the main theme of the Hebrew scroll.